Sweetheart, I want to share with you today something so magnificent, so absolutely thrilling, that when you truly understand it, you'll never look at your life the same way again. We're going to talk about the divine command that makes the universe obey instantly. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, in this very moment. You see, most people go through life thinking they're at the mercy of circumstances, tossed about like a leaf in the wind. They say things like, well, that's just my luck, or nothing ever goes right for me, or my personal favorite, what will be, will be. Oh, how that makes me chuckle. Because what they don't realize is that they've been giving commands to the universe all along. The only trouble is they've been giving the wrong ones. The universe, you see, is like the most obedient servant you could ever imagine. It doesn't argue with you. It doesn't question your judgment. And it certainly doesn't say, "Are you sure about that?" It simply says, "Yes, Master," and gets busy creating exactly what you've commanded. The problem is, most of us have been unconscious commanders, sending out mixed signals faster than a telegraph operator having a nervous breakdown. Let me tell you a story about a woman I knew. Let's call her Mrs. Worry-a-Lot. She came to me absolutely beside herself because, as she put it, everything always goes wrong in my life. I listened to her for about 10 minutes. And do you know what I heard? Command after command after command to the universe for things to go wrong. "I just know this won't work out," she'd say. "I'm sure something terrible will happen. I always mess things up." My dear, she was ordering disaster like it was the daily special at her favorite restaurant. So I said to her, "My good woman, you've been commanding the universe quite successfully. The only problem is, you've been commanding all the wrong things." She looked at me as if I'd suggested she take up tightrope walking. But here's the beautiful truth. The same power that was creating her problems could create her miracles. She just needed to change her commands. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is this divine command? Well, it's simpler than you think, and more powerful than you can imagine. It's the spoken word backed by unwavering faith. Not hope, mind you, not wishful thinking, but absolute rock-solid faith that knows, without a shadow of a doubt, that what you speak must come to pass. The Bible tells us that God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. He didn't say, "Well, let's see if we can get some light going here," or, "I hope this light thing works out." He commanded, and it was done. And here's the magnificent part. We're made in His image. That same creative power flows through us. We are co-creators with the divine, armed with the same tool that spoke the universe into existence, the Word. But here's where it gets interesting, and where most people trip themselves up. They think they can speak one way and believe another. They'll say their affirmations in the morning, "I am prosperous and successful," and then spend the rest of the day telling anyone who'll listen about how broke they are and how nothing ever works out. It's like ordering chocolate cake and then immediately shouting, "Cancel that! Bring me liver and onions." The poor universe doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. The divine command requires what I call single-mindedness. Your thoughts, your words, and your beliefs must march in the same direction, like a well-trained army. When they're all aligned, pointing toward the same goal, that's when miracles happen so fast it'll make your head spin. Let me share another story. There was a man who came to me, absolutely convinced he was meant to be poor. "I come from a long line of poor people," he said. "My father was poor, his father was poor, and his father before him was poor. It's just our lot in life." I had to bite my tongue to keep from laughing. Here was a man who had inherited poverty like it was the family silverware, polishing it lovingly and passing it down to the next generation. "My good man," I said, "you've been commanding poverty with such dedication. You deserve a medal. But what if you commanded prosperity with the same unwavering faith?" He looked skeptical, but he was desperate enough to try. We worked on changing his commands from, "I am poor because my family is poor," to, "I am prosperous because I am a child of the Most High." Within 6 months, opportunities began appearing in his life like flowers after rain. A business proposition that seemed to come from nowhere, an investment that paid off handsomely, and even a small inheritance from a distant relative he'd never met. The universe had simply responded to his new commands with the same obedience it had shown to his old ones. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. Where's the catch? The catch, my dear friends, is that you must become as a little child. Children don't doubt. When a child decides they're a princess or a superhero, they don't stop to analyze the probability of royal blood or the physics of flying. They simply are what they say they are, with complete and utter conviction. We grown-ups, with all our education and experience, have learned to doubt. We've been taught that being realistic is a virtue, that dreaming big is childish, and that we should expect less so we won't be disappointed. We've trained ourselves out of the very quality that makes the divine command work: absolute faith. But here's the wonderful news. You can reclaim that childlike faith. You can remember how to command the universe with the authority that is your birthright. It starts with understanding that doubt is not wisdom. It's just fear dressed up in intellectual clothing. The divine command works through what I call the law of supply and demand, but not in the way economists mean it. When you demand something from the universe with absolute faith, not begging, not pleading, but demanding as one who knows their rights, the supply appears. It has to. It's spiritual law, as reliable as gravity and as constant as the sunrise. But you must speak as one having authority. When Jesus commanded the storm to be still, he didn't say, "Please, if it's not too much trouble, could you possibly consider calming down a bit?" He said, "Peace, be still." And immediately, there was a great calm. That's the tone, that's the energy, that's the unwavering certainty that makes the universe snap to attention. I remember a dear woman who came to me, worried about her son who had been unemployed for months. She'd been praying and worrying in equal measure, which is like stepping on the gas and the brake at the same time. I taught her to command instead of petition. Instead of, "Please God, help my son find work," she learned to declare, "My son has perfect right action in his life. His ideal position now manifests." Within 2 weeks, he had 3 job offers. The universe doesn't dawdle when it receives clear orders from someone who knows they have the right to give them. The key to commanding with authority is remembering who you are. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're not at the mercy of the economy, the government, other people's opinions, or any other external condition. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, equipped with the same creative power that fashioned the stars and set the planets in motion. When you truly grasp this, not just intellectually, but in every cell of your being, your words carry a different vibration. They ring with authority because they come from someone who knows their divine inheritance. The universe recognizes this vibration and responds accordingly. But remember, the divine command isn't just about getting what you want. It's about aligning yourself with the highest good, with divine order, with what's meant to be. Sometimes what we think we want isn't what's best for us, and the universe, in its infinite wisdom, brings us something even better than what we asked for. I always tell people to end their commands with this or something better. It gives the universe permission to exceed your expectations, and believe me, it loves to show off. You might command a new job and receive a business opportunity that makes you your own boss. You might command healing and find not just physical wellness but emotional and spiritual transformation as well. The most important thing to remember is that the universe is always saying yes to you. It's saying yes to your fears, yes to your doubts, yes to your limiting beliefs, and yes to your grandest dreams. The choice of what it says yes to is entirely up to you. You are the commander, and the universe is your willing servant. So starting today, beginning right now, I challenge you to become conscious of your commands. Listen to your words, watch your thoughts, and notice what you're ordering from the cosmic kitchen. Are you commanding lack or abundance, sickness or health, failure or success, love or loneliness? Whatever you've been commanding unconsciously, you can change consciously. The power is in your mouth, backed by the faith in your heart, supported by the truth of your divine nature. You are not here to be small, to struggle, to barely get by. You are here to demonstrate the magnificence of the creative power that flows through you. Remember, my dear friends, every time you speak, you're either commanding the universe to expand your good or contract it. There's no neutral ground. So why not command miracles? Why not demand the best life has to offer? Why not speak with the authority of one who knows they are beloved children of the Most High, entitled to every good thing? The divine command that makes the universe obey instantly isn't some mystical secret known only to a chosen few. It's your birthright, your inheritance, your natural spiritual technology. Use it wisely, use it boldly, and use it with love. Start with something small if you must, just to build your faith muscles. Command a parking space, a green light, or a beautiful day. Watch how quickly the universe responds when you speak with conviction rather than hope. Then gradually work up to the bigger things: perfect health, abundant prosperity, ideal relationships, meaningful work. The universe is waiting for your commands, my friends. It's been waiting your whole life. So what are you waiting for? Step up to your divine authority. Speak your word with power. Command your good to manifest now. The universe is listening, and it's ready to obey instantly. If this message has stirred something in your heart, if you can feel the truth of your own divine authority beginning to awaken, then share this with others who need to remember their power. Leave a comment about your first divine command experiment. Subscribe for more wisdom about living the abundant life that's your spiritual inheritance. And remember, you're not just a human being hoping for the best. You're a divine commander, and it's time to start acting like it. The universe is saying yes to you right now. What will you command it to create?